Hi everybody, I am Husky Light. I'm going to make sure this is on. Damn right it's on. I've just spent about half an hour answering all your questions and giving loads of really good answers and going on with myself, and then I realised after I'd uploaded it the microphone was off, so there's no sound. So I'm starting again. Doing it all again for you. Anyway, and we're out of Mercury retrograde. Maybe we're still in the shadow a little bit. Or maybe I should have checked the on button before I did it, hey? So anyway, first of all, thank you for all your likes, your shares, your subscribes, Google Pluses, everything. I've not done a Q&A for quite a while, and the videos I've done recently, I've had some really good questions on there and comments and everything. So I thought, yeah, I'll go through them and do them. Thank you for everybody that wished me a happy birthday. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That was really sweet of you. I'm not telling you how old I am. I'm just getting older. I'm another year older. Poodles. Anyway. Right, let's get on with your questions, which I've just managed to take off the off my screen. So let me get them back up again. And I've had some really good ones, some really good sort of questions, and that, especially on that sliders video that I did last week. That was pretty cool. I'll probably go through the weekend angel cards first and a couple of others, and go through those first with you before I get onto the slime, then go through the sliders ones separately. Anyone that I don't mention, I apologise. I probably can't mention everybody in one go, even though it'll be a long video anyway. But that does not mean I don't appreciate you. I don't love you to bits, and keep commenting and helping. And as I said in the weekend cards, I think you know, we are a little community here on YouTube, and if you ever, you know, notice something that somebody's put a comment down and you know about it, and you know, as long as you answer them with sort of unconditional love and compassion and all the rest of it, you know what I mean. Please, you know, talk to each other. You know, there will be a lot of my subscribers that, you know, maybe don't have a lot of people around them to talk to, and it helps. It really helps. You know, we're all of a like-minded way of thinking, and it helps. It really does. So, right, my Aquarius for October, my monthly, was very interesting, according to Rachel O'Driscoll. So thank you for that. I hope it helped. Hope it gave you some food for thought on that one. Kathy Kane, hiya, you're one of my regular commenters. I love you to bits. A very contemplative card for me today, which is the Weekend Angel cards. On Friday, everything will be okay after he leaves and I found a new housemate. You're having a problem, aren't you? Time does heal, I know that for sure. My Aries fire, Pisces moon, and his lackluster Libra-ness with me are quite done. I love that. And excuse me, lackluster Libra-ness. I'm a Libra, and yes, sometimes some Libras do have a bit of lackluster. I found over the past, and they're very much on the fence, and they're not very good at decisions, and they're trying to please everyone, and sometimes they're a bit of a doormat. I found over the past few months, though, as I've learnt more about astrology, I'm sort of beginning to be a bit more Aries. I'm a bit more fiery than I used to be, in a good way, in a I'm not a doormat sort of way, which is good. You find usually the sign that you're born under is your predestiny sign that you live by, but you can change it. You don't always have to be sort of held and bound down by the fact you're an Aries or a Scorpio or whatever, especially when you're sort of shifting poles within yourself. when you're going from your lower chakras and starting to work with your higher chakras, you will find that you will actually start to be a little bit more like your opposite sign. So my opposite sign is Aries, so I'm a little bit more fiery, and more decisive about things than I used to be in the past. And I think it is due to us switch. I'll go into that actually in a minute about us switching poles with our chakras. So you're not always stuck to your star sign. Once you start becoming awake and awakened, you do, and you work with different chakras and the Kundalini system within your body, you actually can start taking on other signs. And whenever I do the monthly signs as well, or the weeklies, I'll always say look out for your moon sign, your rising sign, your sun sign shine. Look out for your others as well, because every week or every month they don't always resonate with you, and yet one of your other ones that's within your sign will do. So always have a look out of that. So yeah, I'm not one of the lackluster Librans. He obviously was, bless him. And time does heal. We move on, we move forward, depending on what that situation is, and hopefully we can just learn from what's happened, and not only learn, but learn on an internal basis, so it changes us into a better person as well, and we learn the art of forgiveness and eventually, and that's so. Valerie Bradshaw talking about this: I'm so confused because I don't know how to forget the pain of the past with my husband. I'm trying to be of love. I know either way I will only be love. Yeah, you will. You were born love. You were born with unconditional love. Remember always, all of you, that you are a spirit. You are a spiritual being having this human experience, and this human experience is not always a doddle. And quite frankly, it's a pain sometimes for a lot of us, and we have all these human emotions to work through and get through, and it is difficult. A lot of the time when we're trying to forget the pain of a past relationship or get through it, they will have brought up something within you which is a problem within yourself, which you need to work through, whether it be a lack of trust or jealousy or anger or something. They're usually reflecting back to you something within yourself that you actually need to work on. So usually when we look at a past relationship, and blah blah blah, this, that and the other, but if you sort of delve deep into it and get to the bottom of it, there's something there that was reflected back to you, which was saying this is something within you that you need to have a look at and try and work through. And going back to the chakra system as well, once our sixth sense is open and our crown chakra and everything, I was talking to somebody about this last night, we start to learn to not work within our lower chakra systems, our root chakra, our solar plexus. We start to, and our other one, which I can't remember the name off the top of my head, root chakra, solar plexus. No, I'm having a memory lapse. We start to work, instead of working from those lower chakras which give us the sexual problems, fear, anger, jealousy, regrets, sadness, all of those sort of awful feelings. We start to work with the upper chakras, from our heart upwards, which is unconditional love, understanding, compassion, passion, creativity, awareness, all those sort of things, peace, happiness, all those sort of things. We start to work out of this section more once we're awake, instead of just constant. And a lot of people don't realize when they're not awake, when they're not spiritual, just how much they work out the lower chakras, and especially when you wake up as well, how much you can see the contrast of people, and you look at people around you, you know, family members, friends, whatever, and you'll begin to see, and it'll begin to annoy you as well, a little bit, because you think you're always criticizing someone, you're always having a go, you're always jealous, you're always angry, you're always sad. Change. Stop working out of that lower system. But unfortunately because that's the vibration they're on, and we've all been there, so there is no judgment whatsoever, by the way, at all, because I've been a cowbag in the past, absolutely, and I'm not going to lie about it either, and a lot of us have. We are not all these perfect, amazing, wonderful beings. We might be getting there, you know, but we've all had our moments in the past where, my gosh, we've been awful. But because we've woken up, we're learning from it, we've learned from it, and we are working out the top chakras. Occasionally we'll fall back down again. It's a journey, it's a process that we go through, and occasionally we'll get angry, we'll get sad, we'll get down, we'll fall back down, but we're awake enough to realize what we're doing, and we're also aware enough that we need to get back up into the top chakras again and start working with our infinite consciousness and getting back up there and being positive again, because we know that our emotions play such a big part in our reality and what we manifest. So yeah, my heart goes out to you. If you're still going through this pain, it's something's come up that you need to work on. But you are right, you are love, and you have to remember that every single day and stay positive. And once you've got to the point where you love yourself unconditionally, not in an egotistical way or anything, when you can look in that mirror every morning, and this goes for all of us, you know, and say, yeah, I love me, I'm a good person, I've made mistakes, I've got regrets, but I don't focus on them, I focus in the moment now. We all go through life lessons. Somebody else cannot help us to learn our life lessons, or go through. They can help us, but they can't go through our own life lessons, and vice versa. We can't go through somebody else's life lessons for themselves. They need to sort it out themselves and work it out themselves, and it can be difficult to watch when you want to jump in and help, but you have to let them get through it, because that's how they grow spiritually throughout that. So I've lost my thread now. Yeah, we are completely, and when I mentioned the poles earlier on, shifting and sort of being a Libra or an Aries or whatever, it is your poles shifting within you, and you stopped working from your lower chakras, which you were born, which you sort of were programmed into as you got older and went through the education system and the government and everything else, and learnt what bloody pain was and heartbreak, and working out of those. Your poles start to shift. That's my Libra down there. Your poles start to shift, and you start to work out of your upper chakras. You can start to be more like your opposite star sign. So you will get through this, I promise you. If you need to email me or you need any help whatsoever, feel free. I've said that before for all of you, that if you just want to spew if you want to spew something out in an email or whatever, I may not always answer you, depending on how long it is, but sometimes it's just good to get it out and get it on paper, get it in an email, whatever, and it's a way of transmuting it. It's a way of giving away your fears and doubts up to the angels, because you've got it out and you think, done, absolutely done, I'm not worrying about that anymore. So right, moving on. I've got a little doggy. Let me bring my camera up just for a minute, because the other two are out, and I've got little doggy here who's really, and you still can't see her, look, she just, I'll try and lighten up the video, because that's just a blob, isn't it? You can't see a thing apart from this little furry blob. But she's just had a bath and she's getting a lot better. She's not very, hasn't been very well at all, and she still isn't, but she's doing all right. She's doing all right for an old girl like me, and I'm not telling you how old I am. Getting older. And now I've got a doggy hair on my lip. Joy. Burmese Jade, so awesome seeing the kids again. I love the animals so much. By the kids, you mean the huskies, don't you? Yeah, I do sneak them in. I got them on camera last night over the weekend for the angel cards, so you could see them. They're fine. I've noticed big black and white one. He seems a bit smellier when he comes in, because I think because they're living outside a little bit more. and he's a terror to try and bath, but I will do. And I've got a big cover over there, so if they do come in, the cover goes back so that my daughter's not sitting directly where they are, because you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and trying to get him off the settee when he comes in is like trying to shove a bag of potatoes off. He's just not going to move, so I give up on that. So yeah, they're doing fine, and thank you. Also with the weekend Angel cards, Burmese Jade, the first card is for you, hun, for me. Don't give up on those that you love. I knew a month ago when you discovered your daughter's allergies that very quickly this will turn around successfully. I've known many parents with children with bad allergies, and in a short amount of time once their immune system's had a rest, the animals worked out fine. And also years later, sort of things like nuts and seeds, fruit molds, pollens did also dissipate. Thank you. And it is quite true. I remember my son when he was a kid. We had a little King Charles Cavalier, and my son used to live at my house and my mum's house next door, and he'd come and ask me for something, and I'd say no, and he'd go and ask his grandma next door. But we had a little King Charles, and we ended up having to get rid of it because suddenly he was allergic to dogs as well, and I only remembered that afterwards. And he's 24 now, and he's fine. So yeah, thank you for that. We're getting there, and as I say, I'm looking into the herbal medicines as well. I've already cut a medicine down at night because I don't want to take in tablets particularly, but we're doing all right. Just need to get her more in the habit of coming down now, actually. So she's doing fine, thank you. Right, right, Penny Lane, you little tinker. This is my friend in Kent who's looking after the cats now, and she has put this amazing comment, which I'm not going to read out because I'll get all sloppy and emotional. We've become quite good mates. If you want to look at it, it's on the angel cards for this weekend, but I'm not reading it out. I've sent you a separate email, Daniela. So yes, thank you very much though. And she, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Chanda Lakoy, happy belated birthday. No problem, thank you very, very much. Jenica Epp, thank you. This is Aries for July, actually. You went back and looked at July. She still can't seem to find a job or any special partner. Don't even know where to look, and it's October now. I'm so stuck. You sound like you could do with a clearing or something, or your chakras clearing, or a Reiki session, or something homeopathic like that, because it sounds like you've got a blockage somewhere that maybe is not, that's stopping you from finding a partner or a job. It may be somehow you think you're not good enough to have one, or some sort of deep-seated something going on in there. It'll be one of your lowest chakras blocked, I bet. So maybe having some sort of clearing would help. I'd suggest Reiki clearing. Have a look if you don't know what that is. It's a specialist healer who can clear all of your chakras. They can home in on where the blockage is and clear it, and it's very relaxing, it's very beautiful, and it's not painful. It's amazing. They don't even touch you, and it's brilliant. But have a look at that, because obviously when I do the cards every month, it's not for everybody, it's for the majority of your star sign. So sometimes it doesn't. This is why I say, you know, look at your sunshine, rising sign, all the rest of it as well, if it doesn't resonate with you at a certain point, because one of the other ones will. Just it depends on what is exactly going on in your chart astrologically, and what other planets you've got in there as well. So Sacred Soul, bless you, thank you so much for letting us see the doggies again. I sure miss them, and they look so peaceful. Yeah, they did look very cute. Um, Juanita Peralez? Juanita Peralez. Yeah, yeah, I think I've got your name right. Can I adjust my camera? I can't adjust my camera, I'm afraid. It's just one of those bog standard little cameras that there is no sort of aperture thing on it, or getting it clear. It's literally me with a card. The way I hold it, I'll try and hold it a little bit further out. See, the other problem is if I've not got my glasses on, I can't tell whether it's clear or not. But I will have a go with that, and just try not to remember. Try to remember to do that for you. Brianna Park, happy birthday. I hope it's everything you ever wanted. Lots of love and light, and thanks for the reading. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Happy birthday from Lisa Iwanowski, Terry Leah. Thank you. Right, Helio Cineros. I hope I've said that right. You sent the most gorgeous message. Um, it's a bit. Oh, and the other thing as well that I've not mentioned. If you put a comment up and you notice it's not going immediately up, it's because I had some guy put a bit of a rude comment on my on my thing a little while ago, and I've put it so that I'm just checking them, and all of you all go up anyway. It was just like this one, but I just couldn't risk it going on because it was a little bit risky, and it shouldn't have been there, and it was a bit rude, and it was a bloke, you might know. Not all men are like that. I'm not, there's just the odd one out there, who haven't got out of their lower chakras yet. So I had to not put that comment up. So if you ever notice it's just because I've literally not hit the OK button yet, because I've not got round to it. So if there's a delay, that's what it is. But anyway, Helio, this is a bit sexy as well, but it's very poetic, and it's very spiritual, and it's very beautiful. And you brought tears to my eyes. So this was my daily oracle cards on Friday or Thursday. This has got to be one of the most uplifting readings. I'm so loving your delivery, concise and congruent. As you fall deeper and deeper in love with your higher self, so do we. Soon at the climax of love, you will repackage your messages to make us laugh at ourselves. I probably will as well. I will. Your followers will overflow every morning, awaiting your thorough love as it slaps our unresolved petty flaws upside the head. Happy birthday, Daniela. Where's my bad mama jamma? My bad mama jamma. I know you're a lot younger than me, mister, but thank you. That is an ace comment. It really is. It's wonderful. It did bring a tear to my eye. And yeah, we should all laugh at ourselves occasionally. We should be able to do that and have a sense of humour like that. When we can love ourselves to a point where we can look in the mirror and say, do you know what? I've got wobbly bits and flabby bits and all sorts of bits going on that shouldn't be there. But do you know what? So what? So what? We are spiritual beings in a human body. We didn't choose this body. It was there for us. And we all can't look like Angelina Jolie. And I wouldn't want to. Each one of us is very unique and very beautiful and handsome and pretty and fantastic in our own way. And if you've got bits that, are not perfect, it doesn't bloody matter. I've got a doggy hair on my nose, sorry. It really doesn't matter. And if somebody doesn't love you because you've got those bits or something wrong, they're not worth being near you, really. So yeah, sometimes we do need to be a little bit more lighter hearted and just laugh at ourselves and laugh at some of the stupid mistakes we've made in the past, and look at ourselves in with a bit more sense of humour. Juliana Silito, I apologise if I say anyone's name wrong. Silito, Juliana Silito. I'm not sleeping well at all. Thank you for the good reading. That was for Scorpio, the weekly. I am going maybe 2 nights having a good night's sleep, and then I'll go nearly a week not, and waking up and doing the the 3 a.m. club, waking up at, excuse me, 3 or 4 in the morning for a couple of hours before managing to get off back to sleep again. And I think the reason is we since Lionsgate, since the 8th of August, we seem to be just having wave after wave of energies coming through as we move through these higher vibrations, and we're moving up, and we're sort of keeping up with the Earth, Mother Gaia rising and everything, and sort of become, all of us, you know, on this mass basis becoming awake. And as we move up, it does disturb our sleep. And obviously when we're connected to higher consciousness and our third eye's open and everything else, somebody else said it the other day on YouTube, when we're waking up at that time of the morning, I think that's when we get our downloads, when we get our information through, when we get our aha moments as well. Because for some of us, we're running around and being so busy during the day, our angels and that can't get through to us. We're not noticing the signs, we're not noticing things as much as we should be, because we're just running around like headless chickens all the time. If we could all stop doing that, that'd be great, but unfortunately we still have to earn a living. So, but I think this nighttime thing, when we're getting this disturbed sleep, we've got so much information coming through. Even if you're just lying there awake and you don't actually think anything's going on, you can feel the energies around you. They are coming down with information for you and downloading and upgrading you on the inside out, and upgrading your third eye and all the rest of it, and your DNA's joining together, and healing and all sorts of things. And I think that goes on when we have trouble sleeping. I just need to move my leg. I've got a doggy sat on my knee. She's starting to bug me. So yeah, I think that's part of it, waking up, and we've got all these heavy, these energy waves coming in that are helping us to wake up, and that's causing these sleepless nights as well. There was something else I was going to say on that, but I've seen that a lot, and I spoke to a lot of people, and there's a lot of us that are not sleeping well, and it is just getting more and more. We'll get over it. I think there comes a point where you don't have to wake up for 2 or 3 hours in the middle of the night just to get information. It'll just automatically come and be integrated with you, and it'll be quicker. But at the moment, for a lot of us, that's how it's happening. Wishing you a beautiful birthday from across the pond in Canada. Thank you. That's Sheila Saunders Smith. Is Niagara Falls in Canada? I've always wanted to go there, to Niagara Falls. Canada just seems such a beautiful place. New England as well, I've always wanted to go to as well. Kathy Kane on my daily angel cards. Thank you, angels, and happy birthday to me. As you began today's reading, a little moth fell from somewhere in my bedroom and landed in my open left palm. He opened his little tiny white wings and showed me his beautiful dark markings hidden from his resting stance. How synchronistic. I will show my inner beauty today as the angels have spoken. Namaste. Good. You show your inner beauty every day, Kathy. Absolutely. And your outer beauty as well. Petite Libra 925, you share my late dad's birthday, so there's a synchronicity for you. And another one, because you're a Petite Libra and I'm a Petite Libra, so there's another one. I think that's pretty much it. Burmese Jade, happy birthday. Shruti Malhotra, he's one of my new subscribers from India. This is why I started doing my my daily angel cards the night before, because she's watching over in India, so thank you for that. Burmese Jade, you're in Australia, so lots of love to you too. And I can't read that name. Poinya is the surname. Joelis. Awesome reading, love your insight and sharing. Wonky things, yes, happening all around. Yeah, there is wonky things happening all around at the moment. Right, moving on to, I think I've got through Just anyone I've not mentioned, I'm sorry, I'll just be here forever. Linda Voss, white light and love and protection around your little doggy, thank you for that. Thank you. I am putting my hands on her every night and trying to do a bit of healing. So just keep her sort of a bit more positive and that. So yeah, thank you for all of those. That's all the sort of the daily angel cards and the weekend angel cards. Moving on to my sliders video, because I had some super stuff. Gail Kenyon, oh my god, I've been getting the same weird stuff happening. How bizarre. Cameras, radios, all battery charged technology does the strangest thing. Batteries will die, dishes will break, totally weird stuff going on. Yeah, absolutely. This is when I blow fuses and things like that, and it it happens whether if you're working in your lower chakras and you've got sadness and everything else. I'm blowing stuff and turning stuff off. Out the top chakras with sort of passion and excitement and happiness, I'm turning fairy lights on. So and it is technology, and our electric field, and it does have an effect, as other people are saying out there as well. So thank you, Gail, for that. Dishes breaking as well. I unfortunately had a big argument on my birthday night, and with my twin, and then I cut my thumb on a bottle, and so the top of the bottle had broken, and I cut my thumb, and that was that was funny and weird, because I thought, well, that spiritually means something, because nothing happens by coincidence. So I looked up what that means, cutting your thumb, and it's spiritually meaning you're out of sync with a family member or a friend. And I thought, well, yeah, I know that, I've just had an argument with them. You did not have to cut my thumb as well in the process. I got it, I understand. So yeah, when things happen, things do not happen by coincidence. There is always a reason, and there is always a message there for you. So if things like that happen to you, if you're breaking glasses and things like that, look at what it actually means for you. It usually means that yes, something's out of sync, and that something's not quite right at the moment that needs to be sorted. So yeah. What else with that? There's so much stuff with this sliders thing, which is crazy. Earth Spirit as well on sliders. Have you ever noticed how some readers here on YouTube have got their fire alarms beeping in the background? I haven't noticed that, actually. I'll have to have a look out for that. It's a sign of a low battery in the unit, and I know this but because for years mine did it, until one day the whole house went berserk and all the alarms had to be disabled. I actually remember me having to do that once because my alarm wouldn't stop going off, and you've just told me the answer, so thank you for that. Yeah. Now I know it was because of my energy. Also, the reason that our lights have burnt out and pop when I turn them on, it's not always because we just need to replace the bulb. It is because of high energies. And this is part of these energy waves that are coming in at the moment. It just seems to be exaggerated and more powerful as we move up. So that's having a big effect on quite a lot of us as well at the moment. Other times as well, she says, sometimes when I wake up in the night, I'll hear the walls shift, like my energy pulsed or something. It sounds weird, and it doesn't sound weird at all, not on this channel. I don't think we can get any weirder sometimes on this channel. And it's good. We're a little community, and we get to talk about, hopefully what you want me to talk about and explain. And I learn a lot as well from it. So it's not weird at all. I mentioned in one of my videos, seeing the walls shift, they just went wonky. And that happened. And a couple of nights ago, I closed my eyes, and I had for some reason I got a really vivid picture of the bedside table next to me in my head, and in my head it just went and moved like it was on its side. Now I had my eyes closed, I was facing away from it. I'm pretty sure it didn't do that, although it might have done. It might have holographically changed like that, but in my head, very vivid. I don't know why it did that, but, and I think it's, again, maybe it is telling us that our perceptions are shifting, our reality is starting to shift a little bit, and we're becoming aware that things around us are not all that they seem. Things are not all that they seem, and we're starting to see little cracks in that, and maybe starting to see through the reality of things. Maybe that's why we're seeing wonky walls and splits in the walls with light coming through, and portals and all sorts of things coming through. I had another very strange experience. You all know that whatever I sort of think about, talk about, experience will happen, and it'll happen again, sometimes a few days later, usually the next day, sometimes absolutely immediately. And this is how my synchronicity works. It sort of leads me down the right path most of the time, as long as I'm trying to control my thoughts and being aware of what I'm thinking, because the moment I don't, and I'm just prattling on about something or talking about something without really thinking about it, and then it happens, I go, I should have. And you can't control your thoughts 24 hours a day. It's difficult. Nobody can do that, unless you're a complete Buddha or something. I've not got up to that stage yet. But yeah, a couple of nights ago, I think it was the night of my birthday actually, or the night before, I was watching a video about Poltergeist on YouTube. I never watched this sort of stuff. I had experiences when I was a lot younger with ghosts and things, and it frightened the living daylights out of me, and I shut that part of me down, and it's not something I've really wanted to get in. Plus, when I watch some or see some, it happens. So 10 minutes long this video was. I'm sat there watching it. It's showing clips of mostly security cameras in offices and that at night, and it'll show the office is completely empty at night, everyone's gone home, and a chair suddenly flies across the room, or a glass falls off the table, papers come, you know, a filing cabinet will open and all the papers will fly out of it. And it was loads of little clips like this, and I sat there and watched it and thought, and because I'd just done the sliders video as well, I was being quite analytical about it as I was watching it, and I'm watching the chair go across the room, and I'm thinking, right, well, that's some sort of electrical field energy that's come in, that's causing the chair to move, and I'm trying to work it all out. And as I'll have to bring my camera up for this so I can see what I'm doing. As I finished watching it, excuse me, as I finished watching it, the second I finished watching it, there's a packet of cigarettes on the table, and I happened to look down at this packet of cigarettes, and I haven't got any here, but it literally, it was, where's my, if you can, let me get this right, if you can imagine, let me turn that round, that is a little box of cigarettes, yeah. I looked at the table next to me, and literally, hang on, this box of cigarettes just went whoop, 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 and I just watched it happen, and I wasn't scared because I just watched this. Thankfully I wasn't scared because I was being quite analytical, but I literally watched it sort of raise up, move a couple of millimeters and drop back down, and there was no one around. And I just thought, whoa, I shouldn't have watched that Poltergeist thing. I really shouldn't, because again, as soon as I watch something or think about it, it bloody well happens. So there you go. So I will think again, and we've got Halloween as well coming up. That's what I wanted to mention as well. Halloween is coming up. We have got all these waves of energy coming in, which are good waves, which are helping us to wake up, which are helping us to become more aware of things. There is so many more of us around the world during this mass awakening that are lighting up, and we are literally lighting up the world. But as this is happening and as you are waking up, as you go through certain stages, you will go through certain stages where the darker side of things will come in and throw you universal tests and try and test you. They'll bring problems into your life. They'll make your washing machine break down, they'll make your car break down, they'll give you delays on things, they'll send you unexpected bills, they'll do all sorts of things, and you will get little pockets of these where everything just seems to go wrong, and it is your test from the universe to see how you react to that's happening. If you react the way that you used to react and start getting all emotional and upset and playing the victim and, oh my God, why is this happening to me and this is so unfair, it'll keep happening. If you try and get through it and look at it with a more balanced view, take responsibility if it's something that you've manifested by thinking about it, and just realise sometimes when we start to wake up and we're sort of sticking our head up above the parapet above everybody else, and they're still asleep, when we stick our head up a bit too far as we're rising up, then obviously the powers that be, the darker side of things that don't really want us to wake up, they will spot us and sort of come and go, ha, no, you got to go back to sleep, you got to go back down, 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 down. And they will just bring in situations, people, crap into your life that are tests, and just stay balanced, especially with Halloween coming up, because there seems to be a lot more of it coming through at the moment. It'll come up in situations, people being placed there just to get on your nerves, and see how you handle it. Handle everything with unconditional love, as much balance as you can. Try not to get too angry, and if you do, just try and realise that's what's going on as soon as possible and calm yourself down again as quickly as you can. I say, just because you're a light being don't mean you're not going to get angry, because you blooming well are sometimes. So, but just be and get out of it as fast as you can, because the longer you stay down that, the more problems you will create for yourself, and the more the darker side of things will sort of be a bit vampirish and feed off you and think, hey, yeah, they're going back to sleep. No, we're not. We're carrying on waking up and we're keeping going, aren't we? So just be aware of that. It's just the perfect time of year for that sort of thing to start happening a little bit. Put your wall of mirrors around you that I've mentioned in previous videos. Make sure the mirrors are pointing outwards, so that if anything comes in, it's just reflected back off you again. And I don't tend to do that a lot nowadays. I've got through most of it, but I still go through. I had it the other day. I went to see my twin the other day and I was stopped, delayed. They tried so hard for me not to go over there to see him, but I did. But they will try and stop you, because they don't want that. They don't want that sort of thing. They don't want you to be awake and aware, and full of unconditional love and all the rest of it. So just be aware of that anyway. I need to wrap this up soon because I've been on forever. So there is lots of fantastic things. Sleep paralysis. Angela Tobias, you've mentioned sleep paralysis. That is something that I will go into in another video. I've never been through it personally, thank goodness, and God bless anyone out there who has been through it, including you, Angela. As far as I know, your body is asleep, but somehow your mind or your brain wakes up and you can't move and your body is completely relaxed because the rest of you is still asleep, but it's like your top half of your brain's woken up. And if anything happens while you're in that state, or you're having a dream, you can also sort of be having vivid dreams as well while that's happening. That can be quite scary because you can't do anything about it. And I've never been through it, so, but I think, you know, going through that stuff, especially if you've been through it before, it might be something that you sort of are aware of. And you know, when that happens, just stay as centered as you can and just say to yourself, there is no fear here, I am going to go back to sleep, and get yourself back to sleep. But I know it's quite bad, so my heart goes out to you. Also, Angela, you have mentioned, because of the sliders video, fibromyalgia. which you've got meds for, to keep your nerves from causing you pain. Remember I said in the video that our electric, our circuitry within our body, within our heart, within our brain, and our heart's the biggest, it's all electromagnetic. Little Gizzy. It's all electromagnetic impulses that are run around the body, which send messages out to your body, which we need. But with something like fibromyalgia, which I don't know an awful lot about, I have had to do a little bit of research on it. It causes pain in these nerve endings. She also says she can tell when it's going to rain, because her body will start to hurt because of the pressure in the air, just like I can tell when there's a storm coming, because I'll get a headache, linked to feelings, especially sadness. So again, that's part of the lower chakras to try and... Now, I did quickly look up for you, with you saying that you were on meds, other ways of sort of trying to naturally ease the pain caused by fibromyalgia, homeopathic ways of dealing with it. There isn't a cure for it, apparently, and the actual cause, medically speaking, isn't completely understood as well. And so there's not a particularly real cure. Some people do recover from it, but it takes a while. So it's apparently you will have vitamin D and magnesium levels at a low level, is one of the fibromyalgia symptoms. Now, you can take vitamins for that, but they've not scientifically proved whether vitamin D and magnesium levels rise when you do take it, but maybe it's something you can have a go at. Acupuncture is another to help temporarily with the pain. It doesn't last forever, it's just temporarily relieved. Something else I read about, which is massage, and another one which is quite an interesting one. There's a biofeedback for fibromyalgia pain. Biofeedback is an alternative therapy, I'm having to read this, which uses the mind and the body connection to help you learn to control chronic pain with the power of your mind. The feedback that comes back in the form of muscle tension, skin temperature, or brain wave measurements, which I also mentioned in the video, it helps for painful conditions. So it's your mind controlling the pain. So maybe that's something that might be good to look into. And the last one, which I find very interesting, that I found was melatonin supplements. Now, melatonin is something that your pineal gland produces. Melatonin is also taken as a herbal supplement to help your pineal gland open, but they don't put that on the bottle, obviously. It is used usually as a sleep aid. It's herbal, it's used as a sleep aid, and it's also can be used for depression, chronic fatigue, and fibromyalgia. Now, if you take melatonin hormone, which can be picked up at health shops, I've seen it in there, if that can be picked up for fibromyalgia and depression and chronic fatigue and everything, I was actually going to pick some up a few months ago, because I know that because the third eye, because your pineal gland produces it, if you actually take hormones for it as well, it will produce more and help clear and develop your pineal gland, your third eye. So there's a lot of benefits actually in giving that a go. Fibromyalgia is also is lack of sunlight, or you need the sun to help you with it. And melatonin is something that when you go out and get a tan in the sun, melatonin is produced, and that's what helps you to tan, helps your skin to tan. So there's quite a lot. I like that one. There's quite a lot of good things with that, and it would definitely help your third eye as well as hopefully the pain, as an alternative treatment. So maybe you could have a look at that. I don't know. But anyway, I have been on forever. I've got your weeklies to do yet. I've got to go and feed my child. I'm going. Thank you again for everything. You're brilliant. And remember, you know, if I haven't got round to answering somebody's question below or on any of my videos, and you know, help out if you can, or if you've got any specific videos that you want me to do on different topics, sort of spiritual wise, drop those down as well, and on whichever video you happen to be watching at the time, because they all come through, the comments all come through the same to me. And I will do that as well. So again, thank you for everything. Thank you for all your comments. I hope some of this has helped. It's been quite an interesting one on my Q&A, because there's been some really, really good comments, so keep them coming. And let me put you down, Gizzy. Take care, namaste, blessings and light, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.